I always bug my son, try to punch him to make him exciting. He never exciting.
I couldn't believe it. With his skill, with his work ethic, he didn't win junior national.
Because my son always quiet, he never want to fight.
I'm like, holy cow, who's that guy? That guy could be national champ for us.
My son became a wrestler.
I'm Jules Doliscar. I wrestle at 174 pounds, and I wrestle for Ithaca College. My coach is back in Nassau. Best advice they gave me, don't talk. So typically, like, you know, people won't know what kind of kid I am. I look like a mean person, you know, like that's really no secret. But, you know, I don't talk, they don't know me, and they don't know what I'm listening to. I listen to country, I listen to Disney music. I'll go with Under the Sea. Yeah, that's a good one. Sets me in the mood.
Under the sea, under the sea.
You know, I'm out to have some fun. Like, it's not like I'm going to war here.
I never believed my son can fight.
Honestly, like, I was a really, like, puny kid, and I was just like, you know, I really don't like the sense of being dominated by someone.
I tried to play with him to make him excited, to see who he is.
I don't want to, like, not the sense that I need to go out and, like, beat on someone, but I like the sense that, like, I like being comfortable and knowing that I could defend myself.
The first day I saw my son training for wrestling, I was shocked.
I felt as though my wrestling skills weren't ready to take me where I needed to go in college, and I felt Nassau was a really good college wrestling program.
But he always was a great kid. He come to my clinic.
Vogar he was my college coach at Nassau, and he was the owner of the club I used to go to, VHW. He's the guy who really taught me how to wrestle.
We had meeting, my college guys meeting, and the Jules show up. I was surprised.
There's a lot of like state champions on the Nassau team, and all county kids. They just didn't take me seriously, and they're like, get out of here. You shouldn't be in here. You don't deserve to be in the same room as us. It was kind of what I needed to make me tougher. Like they tried to get me to quit, but I didn't let that break me.
I look at these kids. He had potential.
Obviously you want to go out there. You want to see what you can do, and frankly, I wasn't ready.
Usually most kids quit. Say, I'm not make teams. My open tournament season over. I'm done. But Jules was in every days.
I had been practicing, and then my brother picked me up from practice, and he didn't say anything to me in the car. I was like, whatever. I checked my weight, and I was just on my way.
I was not in this country. I was overseas. I was in Haiti.
And so I'm going there, and I see all these fire trucks. I'm like, oh man, like that must stink, like for whoever's dealing with this.
And then somebody called me and they said to me, you know what happened?
Get home from practice and my house is on fire. So, I guess that doesn't happen every day, apparently.
The house where Joe lives, is not there no more.
Everything I own is like destroyed either from the fire or all the water they pumped into my house. I don't know where I'm gonna be living. I have to go to school. Like everything I had is gone. So it's just like, yeah.
He's a very strong guy. He's not attached to any material.
It really taught me, like, I really don't care that much about professions, but I care about, like, my friends and my family. Like, thank God my brother wasn't in there, like, if I would have lost him, I don't know what I would have done. Like, that would still scar me today, whereas, so what, my house burned down, like, it's just a house.
The only material my son attached, school and wrestling.
I spent my whole summer training, and then after people saw me come that next year and saw what a leap and bound I made and see how I was wrestling, and they just couldn't believe it. Came down to the conference championships, and I won conferences. I had won 19-4, so I really put on a show at the conferences. Actually, I pulled my hamstring during that match, and I didn't realize it till afterwards, when after the tournament was all said and done. And we had the nationals 2 weeks later. Really couldn't practice much, you know, just because I really couldn't move, and you know, it really messed with me mentally, because, you know, I mean, how confident could you feel if you haven't really been practicing for about a week and a half, you know?
My son was having injury on the legs. I tried to give him some massage. He said, "Dad, you know, I have to go for it." I said, "No, you cannot." He said, "Dad, I have to go for it. No matter what, I have to go for it." But, you know, the injury get worse. That's the time my son lost.
I couldn't believe it. With his skill, with his work ethic, he didn't win junior national.
You know, I remember crying after that. You know, I ended up taking 5th that year.
So next year, I said, Jules, it's your time now.
Ranked #1 all year. I put a lot of pressure on myself because, you know, a lot of people on the team looked up to me. You know, this kid should have won last year. There's no way he's not going to win this year. I went to the national tournament again, and it was just a mental battle. And then he ends up scoring off of my takedown, and I ended up losing 4-3. And that was just, you know, that was a really heartbreaking loss. I had worked the whole time. I was ready to go. This was my year. And just for that kid to just walk out the mat with a match that should have been mine, you know, really hurt me. It hurt me to the point where I didn't even feel like I could wrestle anymore, you know.
3 years ago, I saw him wrestling. I'm like, holy cow, who's that guy? That guy could be national champ for us.
Marty had told me to wrestle at the New York State tournament. I knew there was a good team because, you know, a lot of my teammates had faced Ithaca College guys.
I spoke to his college coach at the junior college, and he told me how good of a kid he was and how hard he worked, and he was a really good student.
I came up here and I was like, oh, it looks like I know where I'm going.
You know, it was definitely the guy we were after.
A lot of the kids on the team knew me, and they were very welcoming, so it was just really easy to fit in.
So, you know, it took a semester or so for him to really adjust, and he really started coming on.
I was having a lot of success. You know, I was the #1 ranked kid again in the country at 174 pounds.
You know, he's really good. He beat a lot of really good guys. He beat the #1 guy in the country.
And I get out to the NCAA tournament, and I don't know, I must have been possessed or something, because I wasn't wrestling like myself.
You know, we just tried to get him to tune into some things toward the end of the season. He had a couple close matches at the Nationals. Came down to a takedown, basically.
I just got taken down in the 3rd period and just lost the match right there. And, you know, I was honestly just in shock.
You know, when you get to the national tournament, it's, you know, it's 1 point here, 1 takedown there, and that's the difference between, you know, being top 8 and winning.
I just didn't know what to say this time, you know. I was just like, you know, like, I felt like this already happened. I felt like I should have been over this, you know. This happened in my sophomore year, why this happened again. And I was just like, I didn't even know what to say about it. The biggest difference I noticed with this year, it's all really coming together, and it's just getting a lot easier. Not putting so much pressure on yourself.
We've really been focusing in on his strategy.
Right, you want to get your shoulder below his shoulder, pull him up, there you go.
I'm putting in the time, I'm putting in the work, working on my technique.
You know, some basic hand position, setups, and some defensive things on his feet.
So Jules, you got to turn him. If he's got your back to the wall, to the line, you got to turn him all the way here and then blast him out.
Yeah, it's 7 minutes. Like there's really no rush out there, and you know, it's wrestling.
Last year didn't work out. He didn't win national. Now he's coming his time, his summer. I said, Jules, now it's his last chance. No excuse.
I believe he will make it. He has to make it. He has to be the winner of the national title.
If he can get to his feet, I think he'll beat everybody.
I know what I need to do. I'm done losing. I'm just ready to win and finally take what's mine.
I'm proud of him.
I'm ready to be a national champion. I'm ready.